How much does sleep actually affect athletic performance? I want to show you. Okay, so I recently had a video on how I think LeBron James is able to play at such a high level late into his 30s because he's prioritized sleep. Now, sleep for an athlete is incredibly important, so it helps with a lot of things. Obviously, it helps with muscle recovery. The more sleep you get, if you've been training hard, it's going to help you recover that muscle stronger, faster, that whole deal, right? The next thing that I think a lot of people forget about is there's tons of studies showing that people that are actually studying for like an exam, if they take a nap right after, they're going to remember what they were studying for a lot easier. It's the same thing with training for a sport. So if you're doing things like free throws, dribbling drills, whatever kind of football drills you're doing, anything that requires motor patterns that you have to get down and memorize, if you can bring your heart rate down and rest and actually take a nap as quickly as you can afterwards, maybe even in between workouts, you're going to get those motor patterns down a lot quicker. And there's a lot of studies showing that. But today, I want to show you a study that was done by the Stanford, essentially their basketball team. Okay, so this study is very interesting. So this is on basketball players specifically. So this is the name of the study if you want to look it up for yourself. And it's not, there's a lot of studies on this, and this is one that only had like 11 or 12 people. It's just the basketball team. It's nothing crazy. But I gotta admit, there's definitely teams who, and I mean professional teams, who have taken, all the details of this, tried it themselves, done the measurements, and found that this is in fact true. And if that's true, they're not just going to post it online for other teams to catch on as quickly as possible, even though I'm sure teams know. But you're not just going to do that. So that doesn't make a lot of sense. But in this study, they essentially measure how much sleep they're getting and then what kind of difference that makes as far as results. So the first thing that it changes is their speed on sprints. So they were able to run, this is if they get 8 hours of sleep or more, they were able to run I think it was 0.7 to 0.8 seconds quicker on some of their sprints. I don't know if it shows exactly the distance they were running on those sprints. It's probably in here. But the main point of that is, think of timing someone for a 40-yard dash. If you can cut that down by 0.2, 0.3 seconds, that can mean millions of dollars for some NFL players. Like that's how big it is. So if you're someone that's in high school or college and you want to be a little bit quicker than your opponent, get more sleep, man. Just get more sleep, and it's going to show up on the court. Imagine how much better you're going to do if you're just a split second quicker than that person. Loose balls, tons of things that could show up, right? Now, the other thing for basketball specifically is shooting percentage. Remember what I told you about motor patterns and those being able to remember those better, and your body being able to function better, right? With its neurological pathways. So shooting percentage for 3-pointers went up 9%. Excuse me, free throws went up 9%, and 3-point percentage went up 9.2%. So essentially a 10% increase. That's huge, especially, I mean, think of that over a season. If you're able to shoot 10% better just because you slept better. If you're a star athlete that scored 1,000 points in a season, but then you're able to sleep more and you shot 10% better, that's 100 more points in a season. Spread that over 20 games. That's another 5 points per game that you're scoring. 5 points could mean the difference between winning and losing. And we're looking at something like free throw percentage and 3-point percentage. If you're a basketball person, you know that is a huge jump. And even if this is just studying 12 people, it's not like there was a huge variance. Like it was all within like a very small variance of that 10%. So I think if you're in high school or college or even a professional, and you know for a fact, and you have to be honest with yourself, are you really getting quality sleep? If you're getting 6 hours or less, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, at least try to get 8 hours of sleep. Like LeBron getting 10 and 12. And like, yeah, listen, you're gonna have to sacrifice from things. Now, I hope you know that you have to sacrifice to train, you have to sacrifice to be a good athlete. What's the difference between that and sacrificing some hours of video games just to get a couple more hours of sleep? That could make the biggest difference in the world. So I encourage you, if you're listening to this, if you're in high school or college, when you're training, have a game, especially if you have a game coming up, come on, make the sacrifice and get a few extra hours of sleep, even if it's a power nap. A perfect power nap time for someone in their teens to 20s is 30 to 60 minutes. That's easy. It's a nap. You're not doing anything. Just do some breathing exercises, some meditation, just chill out and sleep. It's going to show up on the floor or on the field, I promise. If you like videos like this and you want to see some more, maybe some more studies, there's plenty of studies that are very interesting like this. I'll be happy to show them to you. Just leave a comment down below and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.